Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking through some NBA player props I like on Prizepicks for today's slate on Wednesday, December the 21st. Big Wednesday slate tonight, guys, 11 games, so a lot of player props to choose from on this slate. I got 3 picks that I want to give out in this video, guys. I'm recording this video around 12:20 Eastern Time on Wednesday. We've got a lot of the board posted right now. Still, some teams are getting added to the board, but pretty much, close to the full board is up. So there was a good amount to choose from. Found 3 picks I really liked, kind of taking a first look at the board. So we're going to talk through these 3 plays. We're going to share why I like them. As always, guys, before we get started, though, make sure you hit that like button down below if you guys do enjoy these Prizepicks videos. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And if you guys are new to Prizepicks, check them out. Sign up with my promo code Noah. You look at the bottom of the screen. When you do sign up with my promo code Prizepicks, they will match your first deposit up to $100. And if you guys do enjoy these YouTube videos, these Prizepicks videos I put out, and you want more Prizepicks plays from me, I do provide those over on Patreon. We've been doing really well with our Patreon plays lately. We're 5-0 over the last, we're 6-0 over the last 2 days on Patreon. We're also 3-0 last 2 days on our YouTube picks. We did give out 2 picks yesterday on YouTube. Unfortunately, Jimmy Butler did not play. He was a DNP, but we did hit the over on Jalen Durant's PRA, and then we also hit all 3 of our picks on Patreon yesterday. You guys can check out the Patreon link down below in the description. You can see all that I do provide over there. It's $20 per month. It's less than $1 a day. You can see everything I provide. If you play DFS, I provide DFS content as well on Patreon, along with Prizepicks plays. And then you can see what I do, how I do each play. Usually, depending on the slate, I'll give out anywhere from like 2 to 5 additional plays. Sometimes a little bit more, depending on how big the slate is. For a big slate like this, I would think it's going to be pretty easy to find at least 3, 4, 5 plays I like. But these are the 2 picks I gave out yesterday. I gave a full write-up for each play I provided. Jordan Poole free throws, Bradley Beal fantasy score. And then I did give out this play as well. After we got news Kristaps Porzingis got ruled out, I really liked Denny Obvious points plus rebounds. It was a line that I thought might have got bumped, so I wanted to get it out quickly to everyone. That play hit as well. Went 3 for 3 on our Patreon plays yesterday. So again, guys, if you want access to all that, check it out. Linked down below in the description. But talking through the 3 picks that I like for this big Wednesday slate, we got an assist prop I like for today, a fantasy score prop, and a points prop. So we'll start off with the assist prop, and I want to talk about James Harden. 9.5 assists for James Harden. I do like the over here, and obviously, James Harden is a guy that we know is going to facilitate when he's on the floor. You look over his last 5 games, he's gone over this line in 3 out of 5 games. He's averaging 12 assists over his last 5 games, and we've seen Harden take on a big assist role lately with Tyrese Maxey out. Obviously, Tyrese Maxey's been out, I think, for like the last few months, and he's going to remain out right now. Harden has also been out, for a while, but he returned. He's been back, I think, for like their last 6 games. And over that 6-game stretch without Maxey, he has gotten at least 10 assists in 3 out of 6 games. The games where he did not get 10 assists, he came up just short. Against Golden State, he had 9. Against Toronto, he had 8. And then I think the other game, he had 7. It was against the Lakers, against Houston, he had 7. So over his last 6 games without Maxey, he's gone over this line in 3 out of 6 games. Obviously, that's not like the best hit rate, but when you look at his potentials, Harden is a guy that is going to get a lot of opportunity to get assists. So far this season, he's second in the entire NBA in potential assists. He's averaging 18 potential assists per game, only behind Tyrese Halliburton, who's averaging 20.5 potential assists per game. And then if you look over the 6-game stretch without Tyrese Maxey, he's averaging 18 potential assists per game, but 11.2 assists per game. So he's been running a little bit hot with the assists. Obviously, he had that really big assist game against Charlotte, really big assist game against Sacramento. When you look at this matchup against the Pistons, this is a spot where I think we can expect Philly's offense to be very efficient. We can expect Philly to put up a lot of points. They do have one of the higher team totals on the slate. Right now, Philly has a 118 team total. So Vegas is expecting the Sixers to put up a lot of points here. And it makes sense because the Pistons have been like one of the worst defensive teams in the league this season. I think they're like second to last in defensive rating, only behind the Spurs. So it's a really strong matchup for the Sixers here. There is a little bit of blowout risk in this game, but I will say that with how the Sixers run their rotation, Harden typically plays like halfway through the 3rd quarter, he'll sub out, and then usually he starts the 4th quarter. So unless the Sixers are winning by like 30-plus points after the 3rd quarter, I think Harden will be out there to start the 4th quarter because he normally, if I remember correctly, the way they run the rotations, he normally starts the 4th quarter with Embiid on the bench. So if he plays anywhere near his full minutes, I think he's got a good chance to get 10 assists. We know the opportunity for assists are going to be there. His potentials have been through the roof lately. His touches have been through the roof as well. These last 6 games without Maxey, he's averaging over 102 touches per game, which is crazy. That's towards like the top of the league. He's going to have the ball in his hands a ton. He's had over 9 minutes of possession, like time of possession. Ball's going to be in Harden's hands. Assist rate it's going to continue to be high without Maxey. And I think this is a spot where we can expect Philly's offense to be very efficient, to put up a lot of points against a bad defensive team. So really like this spot for Harden. We're also getting some pretty good odds on this play. Right now on DraftKings Sportsbook, this line is juiced with minus 135 on the over. Don't know if Prizepicks is going to bump this line to 10. They might. If it does get bumped to 10, you could still play it, but I definitely wanted to get it at 9.5 in case maybe it does get bumped. But with minus 135 odds, they usually don't bump props unless they go over minus 135. Now, if you see this line on DK get to like minus 140, minus 145, then yeah, Prizepicks would probably bump this. But I do like that over 9.5 assists for James Harden. That'll be our first play for today. Second play, fantasy score prop that I like. This line looked really low. This is one that I really liked for today. Kevin Durant, 43.5 fantasy points. I like this over quite a bit. And this is another game where I think there is a little bit of blowout risk. Obviously, the Warriors right now are super, super shorthanded. They're on the second night of a back-to-back. They've already ruled out Klay Thompson. Steph Curry's going to remain out. Andrew Wiggins is doubtful. I think right now Brooklyn is favored by like 12 in this game, 12.5 actually. But this is another scenario where we can expect Brooklyn to put up a lot of points. I mean, they have one of the highest team totals on the slate, a 118.5 team total. And the thing that we know about Brooklyn is looking at their offense, when they put up a lot of points, it's coming through 2 guys, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. It's going to be really hard for Brooklyn to blow out Golden State here unless Brooklyn just plays like really good defense and Golden State just can't score. Or like they just get like an all-around good game from everyone, and like Royce O'Neal knocks down a bunch of threes. Ben Simmons has like double-digit points. Claxton has like double-digit points. I guess that could happen. But I would think in a scenario where Brooklyn blows out Golden State, it's going to be because of Kevin Durant and or Kyrie Irving. And 43.5 fantasy points, this is a line that Kevin Durant has gone over in a lot of games this season. As you can see, he's gone over in 4 out of his last 5. On the season, he's gone over in 23 out of 30 games that he's played this season. And you look at Kevin Durant's rates this season, I mean, he's got really, really good rates. I mean, 32% usage rate. He's averaging 1.35 fantasy points per minute. Per 36, Kevin Durant's averaging almost 49 fantasy points per 36. I think this line is a little bit lower just because I think Prizepicks is baking in the blowout risk, so they lowered his lines a little bit. And I don't know. I feel like that's a mistake here. I mean, this is a game that has blowout risk, but blowout is not something that we can predict. Even though you may think a game could blow out, I mean, really, like, we just have no idea. I mean, there's been games with double-digit spreads and the underdog wins. There's been games with 2-point spreads and it's a 30-point blowout. Like, you just really never know when it comes to predicting blowouts. And I'm not going to try and come on here and predict if it's going to be a blowout or not. I think even if this game does get ugly and the Nets win by 30, 40, there's a good chance that the reason they're winning by 30 or 40 is because Kevin Durant is having a huge game. So even if he only plays like 30 minutes, like even if Kevin Durant doesn't play in the fourth quarter, he usually plays like after 3 quarters, he's usually played like 30 minutes. So I could definitely see Kevin Durant playing 30 minutes and still putting up over 43.5 fantasy points. And if the Warriors do keep this game close and Kevin Durant plays his normal 36, 38 minutes, he's got a very good chance to go over this 43.5 fantasy score. So definitely think this line is too low. Like this one quite a bit. I guess Prizepicks is baking in blowout risk, and by all means that's fine. But I definitely think just taking a low line, hoping the game stays close, makes a lot of sense. And even if the game blows out, again, I think Kevin Durant could be the reason why. So like that is our second play for today. And then our third and final play is going to be a points prop. And I want to talk about Markelle Fultz. His points prop is currently sitting at 13.5. I also like this over going up against the Rockets. This is a matchup that I've looked to target all season. The Rockets have been one of the worst teams defensively against guards, especially guards that can score. Now, Markelle Fultz, he's not really known to be like a great scoring guard, but he did have a really good scoring game last game against Atlanta, put up 24 points. Pretty sure that was a season high for him. When you look at his lines this season, he's only gone over this game or over this line in 4 out of 11 games. So obviously not the best hit rate, but when you think about Fultz, he was limited his first few games of the season. Like first game of the season, he only played 16 minutes. So, don't really want to look too much into that one. There was a game against Toronto where he only played 18 minutes. That was on the second night of a back-to-back. There's been some games this season where he's been in foul trouble, so his minutes have been cut down. You look at the games, though, where he's played over 30 minutes. He's played over 30 minutes in 4 games this season. He's gone over this line in 3 out of those 4 games. Last game against Atlanta, he played 33 minutes, had 24 points. The game against Boston, he did play 30 minutes, but that was a really tough matchup. He only had 8 points. Against Atlanta, again, he played 31 minutes, had 16 points. And then against the Bucks, he played 32 minutes and had 20 points. So when he plays 30, 32 minutes, he normally scores 14 points or more on average. And in this matchup, I think we can expect a good game from Fultz just because of how bad the Rockets have been against point guards this season. They're giving up, they're giving up the most points per game to point guards this year. Sets up as a really good spot for Markelle Fultz. I think if this game's close and he's not in foul trouble or anything, he's going to play like 30, 32 minutes. And do want to mention that Franz Wagner is questionable for the Magic right now. Not sure if Prizepicks is projecting Franz Wagner out or not. So like if Franz Wagner gets ruled out, I don't know if they're going to take these lines off the board and bump them or not. But I think 13.5 points, even if like Wagner plays, this is a line that Fultz can definitely go over. And if Wagner were to get ruled out, I think that would be even better for Markelle Fultz. It's a small sample size, but Markelle Fultz this season, per 36, he's averaging 15.5 points. But with Franz Wagner off the floor, Fultz is averaging 17.5 points per 36. So he would definitely get a little bit of a scoring boost if Franz Wagner were to get ruled out. But I like this matchup a lot. It's a matchup I've targeted quite a bit this season. The Rockets give up the most points per game to point guards. We've seen a lot of guards, point guards especially have big scoring games against Houston. And very similar to the James Harden play, this is another prop that has some decent odds on DraftKings Sportsbook. If you look at Markelle Fultz points prop on DK Sportsbook, it's setting at 13.5, but it is juiced with minus 130 on the over. So this is what I like for today, guys, for this Wednesday slate. Big 11-game slate, so there was a lot to like. These were the 3 plays that I felt the best about right now when I'm making this video around 12 o'clock, 12:30 Eastern time. But I will have more plays posted for today, probably in a couple hours. Once the full board gets up and I'm able to look through everything, I'll find some more plays I like. I'll share those over on Patreon. I will give a full write-up for each play that I do provide on Patreon. So if you guys want to check that out, as always, it's linked down below in the description. But again, if you guys have not signed up for Prizepicks yet, make sure to get signed up over there. Use that promo code NOAH. You will get your first deposit matched up to $100 when you do sign up with my promo code. But best of luck tonight, guys. Thanks as always for watching the video, supporting the content. Hopefully we can all win some money tonight, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.